Welcome back to another edition of the White Sox here on OOTP 25, and as you can see, it is time for the 2027 American League Division Series as we are taking on the Texas Rangers, who just beat the Guardians in the wild card round. The Tigers beat the Red Sox, and they'll be taking on the Orioles. And then over on the National League side of things, it's the Giants, who've already taken a 1-0 lead on the Braves after beating the Reds in the wild card. And then the Cardinals, who have a 1-0 lead on the Dodgers, who beat the Cubs in the wild card. So we are going to be taking on the Texas Rangers, as I said. Very quickly looking at what our team is going to look like. The rotation is going to be Santucci, Springs, Taylor, and Cameron, while in the bullpen, the first tier of guys is Bautista, Banks, and Rogers. Then it's Manning, Kittredge, and Foley, and then it's Younger, Barlow, and Lang in the third tier of guys that we have in the bullpen. While on the offensive side of things, it's pretty similar to what it was during the season. Caro, Montgomery, Jenkins, Ramos, Tobias, we're going to run with him at DH, at least to start. Brooks Lee at second base, Noah Miller at short, Hudson Head in the center, and Samuel Zavala in left field. While it's basically the exact same thing against lefties, now let's take a look at what the Texas Rangers are going to be looking like heading into this series, as they won 88 games, which was enough to win the American League West Division. As far as what they did during the regular season, they're the opposite of us. They have a very, very good elite hitting team, and they cannot pitch whatsoever. So it's a contrast of styles here. Big-time hitters in the Rangers against big-time pitchers of ours, although not big-time pitchers, but very good pitchers as a collective group. Take a look at their bats here, as they have Corey Seager, who put together a 6-win season. I mean, he's incredible. Evan Carter is really, really good in this universe, putting together a 5-win season. He's been good throughout the whole save. Wyatt Langford is a really, really good bat, obviously. And then Alejandro Kirk is their backup catcher because Jake Rogers is their starter. Max Wagner, Billy Wagner's son, has turned into a good player in this universe. He is putting together a decent year at third base for them. Emmanuel Valdez is their first baseman, Rengifo at third base, and then you got washed Cedric Mullins, washed Marcus Semien, and Jurickson Profar finds himself back in Texas, even though he is washed as well. While on the pitching side of things, definitely not a lot of scary things going on here. When it comes to the rotation, I mean, they're throwing 37-year-old Kyle Hendricks in Game 1, who somehow put together a good year for them. They've got Mitch Keller behind him, who was not good in the regular season. Cody Bradford, who was not good in the regular season. Shota Imanaga, who was not good in the regular season. And then in the bullpen, you've got Hobie Milner is their best reliever. Looks like he had a really good year for them. And then you've got Valdez and Jake Bird as setup men. Sure, they look pretty decent. Herman Marquez is in the bullpen despite probably being one of their better starter options. They'd rather start Imanaga or Keller over Marquez for some reason. They've got old man Craig Kimbrell down here. Jose Ruiz looks like he's a decent reliever. Brian Mendoza, we know about him. He's in their bullpen. Brady Singer and Nick Pivetta. Good mix of veteran. I mean, it's a lot of veteran former starters and then like Craig Kimbrell in their bullpen. So, you know, the arms is definitely a hodgepodge of guys, but the bats definitely, with this Seager, Carter, Langford, three-headed dragon at the top, is definitely no slouch. So here we are at Guaranteed Rate Field in this universe. Top one, Jonathan Santucci on the bump for the White Sox, taking on the Texas Rangers, who are throwing Kyle Hendricks here in Game 1. So let's jump into it here with a little RISP action. As, of course, they lead things off with an Evan Carter home run, and then we get at it from there. So 1-0 Texas. We do nothing. I'm probably just going to... I don't even know. That's whatever. We're going to RISP it. Okay. Marcus Semien's on second base. 3-0 count to Jurickson Profar. 3-1 count now. Ground ball right side. 2 down. Runner moves up to third base. Brings up Cedric Mullins. Lefty on lefty, who grounds one through the infield. Why do we have a late infield defense up the middle? Apparently no reason. So 2-0 Texas. Then it brings up Jake Rogers. 0-2 count to him, struck him out. So 2-0 Texas through their first 2 frames. We then will risp it here. We do nothing. Top 3. They tack on 2 more. It's 4-0, and Santucci has just got to get out of there. So we are going to turn to, I guess, Alex Lang. Alex Lang is going to come in here in the top of the 3rd. Get us out of it from there. Can the offense do anything? Nothing. Lang in some trouble. Runner on second base. 1 out for Jake Rogers. 2-1 count to him. Pops it up to left field. That'll be 2 down. Runner stays put at second base. Brings up Evan Carter. Will pitch around him with first base open. And he's going to ground 1 through our good middle infield defense once again. As it's now 5-0 Texas. Alex Lang starting to get up there with the stamina. But he is going to get us out of the inning here as we move things on to the bottom of the 4th, and we still have done nothing offensively. And we still do nothing. So it's 5-0 Texas. Alex Lang is going to come out of the game. We are going to turn to Hayden Younger. Don't want to burn too much of our bullpen here. He works a scoreless frame. The offense does nothing. Younger with a runner on second base, 0-2 count to Profar. 1-2 count, struck him out. 1 down, runner on second, brings up Mullins, who grounds 1 into the glove of Miller. 2 down, brings up Jake Rogers. First base open, 1-0 count. That's going to be tattooed off the wall, make it a 6-0 game, as we are just getting absolutely destroyed, and I continue to not enjoy these play them out games because I feel like it really affects how they actually get simmed, and you're gonna just, more often than not, like if I wasn't doing a YouTube series, I would never touch this portion of the game, and I would just be hitting sim day during the postseason. So it's 6-0 here as Jake Rogers is on first base, and I guess we're gonna walk him. Awesome stuff. Let's visit the mounds. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to try to get through here. Struck him out. 6-0. Does the offense do anything? No. Younger has to come out here, though, as we're going to use somebody who's not going to burn our entire bullpen. We'll throw in Matt Manning. He works a scoreless frame. Herman Marquez comes in. We do nothing. Manning in trouble. Gets out of from there. Offense does nothing. Manning is cooked. Can we get out of it, though? I mean, can't even get to the first batter without being tired. Gets a ground ball. 1 down. Gets out of it from there. 6-0 bottom 9. Hey, we get shut out in game 1. 6-0 Rangers. Beautiful stuff. And here we are in game 2 as Jeffrey Springs is going to be toeing the slab here for us. And for Texas, it's going to be Cody Bradford, who was terrible during the regular season, and I'm sure is just going to pitch a shutout here because that's just what happens in these games. But it wouldn't happen, I guarantee you, if I just hit sim next day and just watched it and then looked at the box score afterwards. I didn't even watch it, but, can't do that. So here we are, top 1, doing nothing. Do we do anything? No. Do they do anything? Boom. 2 in scoring position, 1 out, Jerks and Profar pitch around with first base open. Struck him out. Now it's Cedric Mullins, who lofts 1 out to left field. That's 3 down. Keeps it 0-0. Move things on to the bottom of the 2nd, where we do nothing. They do nothing. We do nothing. They hit a home run and take a 1-0 lead. We get out of it from there. We do nothing. They do nothing. We have runners on first and second with 2 outs and Colson Montgomery, who I'm sure is just going to literally do nothing. 3-2 counts. Flies it out to left field. Still 1-0 Texas. As we move things on top 6. Jeffrey Springs Works a scoreless frame, move things on bottom 6. Jose Ruiz comes on for them. We do nothing. 7-0, or it's top of the 7th here, still 1-0 Texas. We're going to the bullpen as it's 5, 6, 7 coming up for them. And we are going to turn to... I mean, Rengifo's better against... I mean, he's not good against anything anymore. Profar, same sort of thing. We're going to bring in Trevor Rogers. Trevor Rogers is going to come in the game here, top 7. And he works a scoreless frame. The offense comes in. It's 7, 8, 9 for us. Don't particularly want Noah Miller hitting here, but I guess we're going to go Brooks Baldwin. Brooks Baldwin's going to come into pinch hit. He's going to work a 1-2 count, probably just strike out. He's going to hit a line driver, a fly ball to left field. That's 1 down. Then it brings up Hudson Head as they bring in Brian Mendoza. I guess we're just going to let him hit. 2-2 count. And that's a weak grounder at the shortstop. That's 2 down. Brings up the 9-hitter in Zavala. We don't really have a right-handed hitter that we trust at the moment because McLean isn't great against lefties. He's better against righties. Brooks Lee is a switch hitter who I guess is better against lefties than Zavala would be. I mean, no, he's basically the same. So Zavala is just going to hit, probably do nothing. I mean, look, he's first pitch swinging. It's going to be like yeah. Oh my God, actually find some outfield grass. What do you know? We got a runner on first base here. 2 outs for the top of the order in Edgar Caro. And, I don't know. Well, we're not going to try to run into an out here. Oh my God. Who am I to not believe? Edgar Caro, the man with no power. 2-run blast gives the White Sox a 2-1 lead here as he drives in Zavala after the single and himself. The White Sox with their first lead of the postseason so far with a home run off Brian Mendoza. And now it's Colson Montgomery at the dish. Who's going to rip one up the middle? Base knock keeps the inning alive. Next batter up is Walker Jenkins. Lefty on lefty. First pitch swinging. Hits one to deep center field. And that baby's out of here. That's 4 straight hits, rather. Zavala with the single. Then it's Caro with a home run, 2-run shot. Then it brings up Colson Montgomery, who singles. And then Walker Jenkins hits a 2-run shot. Suddenly it's a 4-1 lead for the White Sox. Brings up Brian Ramos, and they've got Craig Kimbrell in the game. 0-2 count to Ramos. That's 5 straight hits for the White Sox. Brings up Jacob Tobias. 2-2 count. And he goes down swinging. But we do tack on 4 in the inning. And now we have to make a defensive change as we obviously don't want any of these guys playing shortstop. So Brooks Lee is going to come in off the bench. Play some shortstop for us. And Rogers is going to continue to pitch here. So he's going to risk us through. Works a scoreless frame. Is the offense going to do anything? No. Top 9 Rogers, 3-inning appearance. Okay, first and second, 2 outs here for Jerks and Profar. Go after him. 1-2 count. Struck him out. Trevor Rogers goes 3 innings out of the pen. Shuts down the Texas Rangers. The offense with some late inning heroics here in that 7th inning. Put up 4 as Caro and Jenkins both hit 2-run home runs. And Jeffrey Springs goes 6. Gives up 1 run through 6, 5 hits, 5 Ks. Trevor Rogers, like I said, gives us 3 scoreless out of the bullpen. And the White Sox have evened up the series here at 1 game apiece. So the series now moves to Fort Worth at the big warehouse in the middle of a giant parking lot because America, as we are now in Fort Worth, Texas, Rangers, White Sox not up at 1 game apiece. Mitch Keller on the bump for the Rangers. We have Grant Taylor going for us, the LSU man. Let's get into it here. Top 1, Edgar Caro, lead off double, it looks like maybe I don't know how he got over, but he's on first base. As now Walker Jenkins is up with 1 out. He's going to be first pitch swinging. And ground 1 to the right side. 2 down. Runner moves up to third base. Brings up Brian Ramos. Works a 3-0 count. Spits on ball 4. Runners on the corners here for the White Sox. Brings up Jacob Tobias. Works a 3-0 count as well. Spits on ball 4. Suddenly bases are juiced here for Chicago. Brings up Brooks Lee. Works a full count. And watches strike 3. I mean, that's just brutal. Like, there's no reason, not Tobias, there's no reason why this guy should be watching strike 3 with an average eye and a 60 avoid K. Like, what is the point of having 60 avoid K if you're not going to fucking foul that shit off if it's I mean, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. We watch it. We do nothing in the first inning with bases loaded. So move things on bottom 1. And, of course, they're just going to put up like 8 on us here, aren't they? As Grant Taylor gives up a 2-run shot here. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Luis Rengifo hits a home run. Gets out of it from there. It's top 2. We do nothing. They have runners on the corners. 1 out here for Wyatt Langford. Grounds 1 back to Taylor. So Rogers has to come out. So we get the runner at second. 2 down, runners on the corners now for Luis Rengifo, who then grounds 1 to second base, and we keep it 2-0. All right. We will take that, move things on top 3. The offense does nothing. It's bottom 3. They do nothing. We have runners on second and third here with 2 outs for Hudson Head, who grounds 1 left side, but fielded by Seager. Nothing going for us. Still 2-0 as we move things on. Bottom of the 4th. Scoreless frame for Taylor. We do nothing. 80 pitches here for Taylor. We'll go batter by batter here. 2-1 count to Langford. Ground ball to the shortstop Miller. Easy play for him. 1 down brings up Rengifo. 1-2 count. Struck him out. 90 pitches now for Taylor, brings up Evan Carter. 1-1 count to him. Line drive at the center field, but caught by Hudson Head. Down 1-2-3 go the Rangers. Move things on to the 6th, as that was probably Grant Taylor's last inning of work. Move things on. Yeah, we're on the top of 6th here. Jose Ruiz is on the bump for them. We do nothing offensively. Still 2-0. It's bottom 6 here. As we turn to the pen, it's 4-5-6. And we are going to turn to lefty, and then Profar. I mean, it's got to be Rogers again. We're turning into Trevor Rogers again. And he is going to, of course, give up a home run to a lefty. Get out of it from there, but it's 3-0 Rangers. Move things on top 7. As Noah Miller is at the dish. It's 7-8-9 for us here. I think we gotta do the thing we did last time. Brooks Baldwin come in to pinch hit. Although Miller's actually been getting hits. Let's let Miller hit here. Works a 1-2 count. And then, of course, he's going to make me look like a stupid moron. He goes down. What was that, looking? He struck out whatever it was. So 1 down. Now Mendoza's in against the lefty Head. And, I mean, really, Baldwin's not great against lefties. Head at least has some pop. But he's been terrible. We'll just risk it. I don't give a shit. We do nothing. Bottom 7, it's still 3-0. Rogers gives up 2 runs, because of course. Jesus Christ. So now we're going to take Rogers out of the game. Still a bunch of lefties coming up, so we're going to bring in Tanner Banks here in the 7th. Of course, he's going to get into some trouble. It's a 5-2. It's a 5-0 game here. Rengifo's on second base. Pitch around with first base open. Seager's going to ground 1 through because apparently 8 bazillion range at shortstop isn't enough to do anything. As the runner holds up at third base, it's runners on the corners here for Emmanuel Valdez. And that's going to be out of the inning. So it's 5-0. We have 3 hits on the day. Top of the order here. We do nothing. We'll take Banks out here. And we'll bring in, I don't know, fucking Andrew Kittredge. Who cares? He gets into some trouble here. Runner on third. 2 outs for Kirk. But then he strikes him out. So 5-0 still, down to our final frame. We have Ramos, Tobias, and Lee up. Brian Ramos works a 1-2 count. And then flies it out to the shortstop. Now we have a lefty Tobias who does nothing all season long, and then Lee after him, and then really no potential pinch hitter options either. Like, at least Tobias has some pop, I guess. So we might as well let Tobias hit. First pitch swinging. Pops it up to the infield. Does nothing. 2 down. Brings up Brooks Lee. This we will pinch hit just because he's done nothing all season. We're going to go Brooks Baldwin. Who hits a screamer into the right center field gap. And we have a runner on second base here with 2 outs, but, you know, still down 5. Still a lot of work to do. So he's on second base, brings up Noah Miller, who we have no one to pinch hit for. He gets plunked. We have 2 on now. Then it brings up Hudson Head, who, against the lefty, I mean, McLean's not any better than he is, so we might as well just let Hudson Head hit. First pitch swinging. Finds some outfield grass. Bloops in. Nobody scores, though, because Baldwin's being a coward somehow. Bases juiced. Zavala's at the dish. I mean, Zavala's our best option, because McLean can't really hit. Zavala's got better hitting, and he has the same eye. So, yeah, it's got to be Zavala here. I don't think Siegler... I mean, he's gotten not great BABIP, though. He might be able to get on base with a walk, though. No, we got to let Zavala hit. Zavala's got to be the guy to hit here. 0-2 count. Goes down swinging on 3 pitches, because of course he does. Because why would anything work? 5-0, as they are now within 1 game of the ALCS. So here we are. It is Game 4 of the LDS here in Texas. Shota Imanaga is pitching for them. We are down 2-1 in the series. Backs against the wall. We have Noah Cameron, the lefty, going for us with a bit of a different lineup here. Caro's DHing. Siegler is catching just to get his eye in the lineup. Zavala is hitting 6 as Brooks Lee is no longer playing. Brooks Baldwin is playing second base and hitting 5th for us. Trying to get some spark on the offense here as it's top 1. And Caro's on second base. 2-1 count for Montgomery. That's going to be blooped into right field. Will Caro score? He is indeed going to score. It's a 1-0 lead here for the White Sox as we strike first. Montgomery's on second base. Walker Jenkins goes down swinging, brings up Brian Ramos, who absolutely tattoos one to left center field, off the top of the wall, not quite out of here, though. That's going to be extra bases. Probably score a run. It is indeed. RBI double for Ramos makes it a 2-0 White Sox lead, exactly what we needed. Brooks Baldwin steps in. First pitch swinging. Lofted to center field. That's going to be 2 down. So Ramos retreats at second base, brings up Zavala. Little dribbler back to the pitcher. Imanaga makes the play. Move things on bottom 1 here for Noah Cameron on the bump, who of course gets into some trouble immediately. First and second, nobody out here for Corey Seager, who's going to hit one into right field, land in for a base knock, probably score a run. Never mind, they hold up the runners. So it's bases juiced here. Nobody out. Wyatt Langford. Ground ball down the line. They step on the bag, go to first, so we get 2 down. But a run does come in to score to make it 2-1, but it's now runner on second base here with 2 outs. Marcus Semien skies one into shallow left center field. That'll be caught by Noah Miller, and we keep it at 2-1 somehow. Holy crap. Move things on top 2. Offense does nothing. Kirk's on second base. Lofted out to left field, but that should be caught. It will be by Zavala. So move things on top 3. Offense does nothing. Carter's on second base here for Max Wagner. Works a ground ball. Runner moves up to third base with 1 out. Corey Seager. I mean, it's Seager and Langford here, man. I mean, we intentionally walk Seager. It brings up Langford. At least with Seager, it's the lefty, so we'll just pitch around him. And of course, that's going to find some outfield grass, make it a 2-2 ball game. Seager's on first base. And awesome. Cameron gives up a home run, I'm assuming. 2-run home run to Wyatt Langford, because of course he does. It's a 4-2 ball game. They tack on 3 in the inning. And I'm thinking we already got to move on from Noah Cameron here, as we are going to turn to Andrew Kittredge is going to come in here in the 3rd inning. Get us out from there. So it's a 4-2 ball game here, top 4. Zavala's on second base with 2 outs for Hudson Head. He goes down swinging. So nothing going for the Sox. It's bottom 4. Kittredge in some trouble because we can't do anything with the pitching. That's going to be lined to right field. 1 down, runner on first and second, brings up Evan Carter. 3-6-3. I mean, horrible throwback to first base. So it's 2 down, runners on the corners here. Brings up Max Wagner. Awesome. Pass ball gets past Siegler, who has a 65 blocking. And it's Andrew Kittredge with 70 control. Make it make sense. It's a 5-2 game. That gets over the head of Ramos. Probably make it 6-2. It does indeed. Why would we be able to do anything? Then we're going to walk the next guy. 2-0 count to Langford. Ground ball. We finally get out of it. But we're down 4. It's top 5. Offense tacks on 1 run. Who gives a shit? Kittredge is going to come out of the game. We are going to bring in... I guess we'll bring in Foley here because he's on fire. 2 outs, runner on second base for Cedric Mullins. Struck him out. Down 3 still, heading to the top of the 6th. We do nothing. Foley's in some trouble, and we are going to turn to Bautista. 2-3-4 up with first and second, nobody out. Awesome. Montgomery can't play it cleanly. E5, everyone's safe. And then that's a grand slam, isn't it? Yep. Yep, that's a grand slam. Game over. Game over, folks. The final for this one is 10-4 as the Texas Rangers absolutely kick the shit out of us here in the LDS. As, nothing went well. The pitching couldn't do anything. The offense couldn't do anything. As we just fall flat on our faces and do nothing here in the postseason. Drop this series 3-1 to the Texas Rangers, as they will be moving on to the LCS to take on either the Detroit Tigers or the Baltimore Orioles. And now we are here at the end of the 2027 postseason, as the Baltimore Orioles are your champions, winning in 7 games over the St. Louis Cardinals after also basically taking the full length the whole time. 3-2 over Detroit in the LCS, or the LDS, 4-3 over Texas in the LCS, and then 4-3 over St. Louis Cardinals in the World Series as they get the World Series championship here in 2027. 95 wins. I mean, they were definitely the best team in the American League this season. You look at the standings overall. I mean, they had the best run differential in the American League. They had the best record in the American League. So, you know, the best team ends up coming out on top here in 2027.